What's up, everybody? This is your Garcia. This is a beautiful day, and today we're going to be talking about unemployment, specifically for 1099 and self-employed. Real quick, check out the beard. This pandemic beard is still going on, still haven't shaved it. Most of you guys that are tuning in right now are going to come back a little bit later and be like, what the heck happened to his face? It all fell off. I'm only growing it for the pandemic. Just want to say that. All right, so for the PUA, or the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, what it is extended to unemployment benefits to those not traditionally eligible, like myself, including self-employed individuals like myself, and gig workers, example, like Uber. And I will say the state of North Carolina last Friday, April 24th, actually opened up the PUA for the state. So I'm gonna go through it just to go through it, learn from it. Not sure if I'll actually take it, but the more that comes out, the more I'll be posting on here. So subscribe so that you don't have to go through all this hours of research and just get it straight to your ears. Take it in and use it if you need it. Another real quick thing, the more that I'm reading, the more that I'm finding out that, and I've said this in my last video, it is taxable. But here's the deal. Don't let that scare you away from this if you need it. All I'm gonna ask is that you take 20 to 30% out for taxes. Slide it away so when that time comes, you have the money for it. Get creative without the 20 to 30 and use the 70 to 80% of the unemployment that's coming in. Of course, I know that's per basis, you know, whoever's being affected and the money that's coming in, they may need it all. But I just want to say that don't let the tax side scare you. Just take a little piece out and use the 70 to 80%. All right, so I'm going to go over 10 questions that came in that I was researching and thought that would be super valuable for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it, okay? Number one, real estate services are deemed essential. So if you are a real estate agent, listen to this. Real estate services have been deemed essential in my state. Does this mean I'm ineligible for new unemployment benefits for self-employed? Now, I think this is super interesting because, listen to this, even if real estate related activities are deemed essential, whether an individual will be eligible for PUA depends upon whether or not that individual is able to work. Now, that's a broad statement, isn't it? Because some of us are able to work, but we can't work because daycares are shut down, we have our kids running down, they're pulling our cheeks. Now I got this beard, my daughter's like, pulling my beard. Doesn't make for a good listing appointment or a buyer appointment through the web, does it? So I don't know, that is pretty broad. And it says, for this purpose, whether an industry is essential is not relevant to the test. What they're saying is that, is the individual able to work? So I know there's going to be a lot more information coming down from the Department of Labor, so we can get more clarity on that, but that's the first question. Little broad on the answer, but are you able to work? All right, so number two, as an independent contractor, can I apply for unemployment compensation benefits and still accept work? Another interesting answer. Independent contractors and self-employed individuals can apply for full or partial unemployment compensation benefits for weeks that their work has been impacted due to that word I can't say. If they live in a state that is participating in the PUA program with the DOL. Now here's the deal, or the Department of Labor. You're going to hear this a lot, that it depends on the state. Yes, federal government is boosting it $600 a week, but it does depend on the state. And here it goes again, right? You're going to hear it again. It says state laws and regulations will govern the condition relating to the work availability and what constitutes active work. There we go again. While receiving unemployment benefits. So if you're independent, self-employed, it says you can still apply for full or partial unemployment compensation for weeks, for the weeks that you were impacted by the word I can't say. So there's another broad answer, man. So it kind of sucks to hear such broad answers, but at the same time, it does give us a little bit of clarity on what this looks like. And in this one, I would just say apply. Just apply. Go in. What's the worst they could do? If you truly need this, just apply. The worst they're going to do is reject you, okay? Number three, if I am able to telework, but unable to fully close transactions or complete work to receive compensation, am I ineligible for the benefits? The law states that if an individual is eligible to telework with pay, they will not be eligible for unemployment assistance. We may need more, and it says it right here, we may need more guidance from DOL on what telework with pay entails. Exactly. We need details. But again, right here, I will say, apply. If you guys truly need it, just go ahead and apply. It says there may be an option for partial unemployment benefits, also depending on the eligibility circumstances. It may be useful to keep track of total hours worked to help estimate the percentage of the time worked, as states requirements for reporting unemployment eligibility vary. Here are my thoughts. You got to think about what telework looks like, and if you're able to do that, unable to close the full transaction, because here's the deal, especially in my world, some sellers don't want you in their house. So yes, this whole thing is affecting that side of the business. Some buyers don't want to go in sellers' homes right now, but they want the home. So yes, we're adjusting, and we're doing a lot of virtual open houses and virtual listing appointments and stuff, but it's hard to sell a house when the buyer doesn't want to walk into the house to see what it feels like, smells like, can they see their family in there, and they're worried. So yes, I would say, especially for our business, I think you would have an argument for this, because it is affecting it. It is affecting the whole business when you can't close the full transaction and receive the compensation because of the fear. Totally understandable, because of the fear of some of our clients. All right, so how much unemployment benefits can you receive, and for how long? It depends. I used to have a teacher, and that anytime that answer came up that says that the answer is it depends, he would say, old people diapers. And everyone would be like, oh, depends. It was always that. And I can't, every time now, thank you, teacher, every time now I hear that word, I think of old people underwear. Sorry for that if I have now put that in your head. It says the CARES Act provides benefits of $600 per week. We know that only through July 31st. That you may not have known. In addition to the amount provided under the state's compensation law through December 31st, 2020. So that extends out pretty far. Typically, states base compensation amounts on an individual's wages, their most recent tax year, and net income from all self-employment that was reported on the individual's tax return. So it's going to vary. Obviously, they're going to calculate all the numbers of your net income from being self-employed, the money that came in, and then the federal government's going to be tapping on $600 if the state is moving forward with using that PUA. So it depends, once again. All right, number 5, how fast will you get paid? And it says the PUA payments, here's in North Carolina, other states may vary, but I think this will give you a good idea. If there are no issue to the claim, remember, if you're worried, just put in the application. If there are no issues with it though, and you do get approved, it says payment should be issued approximately 14 days after you file. So it's fairly quick. It's fairly quick, right? Now, there are some things you have to do if you're receiving this income, especially in the state of North Carolina. It says to receive payments, you must complete a weekly certification for every week you file benefits. In your weekly certification, this is what you have to report. You have to report your wages earned during the week. So what did that self-employment business bring in? What did you bring in as a business? It also goes on to say that you do not need to apply separately for these payments. Let's go to the next one though. So you may be asking yourself, what factors will they consider to see if you are eligible for the benefits? All right. Well, I'm going to read it off. I will say the first half is very much affected by what I'm just going to call C19. You know what I'm talking about. And it says individuals diagnosed with C19 or experiencing symptoms of C19. A member of an individual's household who has been diagnosed with C19. Individuals providing care for family members, child, or other person within the household diagnosed with C19. Individuals who are unable to reach his or her place of employment because of self-quarantine. Right? That may be something that we need to look at as self-employed. Individuals who were scheduled to begin a work or unable to reach work due to C19. This goes back to what I was saying about the sellers who may not want us in their house, and for the buyers who feel uncomfortable going in houses. Individuals who provide major household support because the head of household has died because of C19. Individuals who have had individuals who have had to quit his or her job as a direct result of C-19. Individuals whose place of employment is closed as a direct result of C-19. And I think that aligns with a lot of us who have brick and mortars who conduct business out of that, who meet our clients at these places. So it's looking as it does lean very much towards something that we can use. Just make sure that you are documenting everything. And I'm going to read the last one real quick. Individuals who are self-employed or who would not otherwise qualify for regular employment, which goes right into exactly what we are talking about here today. So it looks like, man, if you're very much affected, like C-19 is in your world, is in your family, definitely you will be pushed through the system, and this guy is very much affected, should receive the benefits. And then it goes on to say, you know, are you affected by the effects of C-19, meaning your work has closed and you can't do business, then, and you are self-employed, gig worker stuff, then you could be eligible. You know, one of the things I keep bringing to my head is that, can you still work though? And I think that's broad depending on people's situations and almost tailored to each person's situations. But I do want to bring what I'm finding out to you guys as well. All right, and number 7, where do I apply for unemployment compensation benefits? To apply for the compensation benefits, you must apply through your state labor or employment labor department. I've dropped the link below for North Carolina, but you do have to just really quick Google your state and it will bring up the link. You better believe that these states are on it right now. They may not be complete with the system, but they have at least some direction on where to go. Just Google unemployment, your state, and boom, you are going to find exactly where to apply for the unemployment. Number 8, if I am deemed eligible by the state to receive unemployment compensation, how long will it take for me to receive those benefits? As you heard, in North Carolina, it's about 14 days. But guess what it is? Old people underwear. It depends. The time it takes for your state labor agency to determine your eligibility, and then to push out the unemployment compensation benefits, really depends, and it will vary depending on what state you're in. So again, that is one of those things you just have to go straight to your state website and see what that unemployment process looks like. And they should have an approximate time like North Carolina did, but go ahead and check out that, because again, we were eligible to put in the application last Friday, April 24th. And then that gives us, you know, if we're approved, we're looking at 14 days afterwards. So Google it, your state, unemployment, basically how fast can you get paid, and it should shoot you straight to that section within that webpage within your state. Comment below with your state and how long, so that way maybe it's another quick reference for anybody that is watching this video. They can just shoot straight to the comments and see what it looks like in their state. And if you could, apply the link too. That'd be awesome. You guys would be fantastic to do that. Thank you so much, seriously, if you do that. And before I really go on, just hit that like button, not for me, but for everybody who participates in the comments to help you out even further. So hit the like button, not for me, but for everybody below that is helping this video get more content and be more valuable for you guys. But number 9, documents for unemployment application here in North Carolina, but I think this might apply for a lot of people. I'm just going to give it to you so at least you could be prepared if your state asks for it. Here's some examples to show the past employment and income. All right, 2019 tax returns, get that ready. Recent paycheck stubs, get that ready. Bank receipts, get that ready, or at least have the password to your online banking system so that way you're ready for it. 1099s. Definitely going to need that. We're self-employed. Billing statements and notices. We're going to need that because we want to, you know, if you're looking at the net, if they're going to be looking at the net profit, they're probably just going to also want to see, hey, is this net profit correct? They probably won't go too deep into it, but at least it gives them some clarity on what the net profit looks like. Business licenses. Are you a real business? Contracts, invoices, ledgers. You see, they're going to get a little deep. They want to really make sure, especially here in North Carolina, that you're not just jumping on the bandwagon to get some extra money while this thing is open. They really want to make sure that it's going to the right people. Examples of documents to show C-19 as the reason for loss of work. Here you go. This rolls into what I was saying a little bit earlier too. Documentation from medical professionals related to the diagnosis or isolation instructions. Can't get more legit than that, getting it from the doctor. Notices from school or child care providers. Exactly what I said before. Notices from county or state government regarding businesses closure. they should have that definitely on file if they're in the same state. But screenshot, man, or stay-at-home orders. Screenshot, save the link that the state has said, hey, this is how long. We're on another 2 weeks from today. Today is the 26th. So, and the last but not least, documentation that a job offer or need for your services was canceled or delayed because of C-19. Now, I don't think that has to be stamped at the bank or, where someone has to notarize it. What is it to say that I have, again, I know I got to relate to real estate because that's the business that we're in. We love referrals, but it's like, if the seller were to do a quick video or a quick write to myself, my business, saying, hey, I didn't feel comfortable, he definitely lost this listing, I think you could hold it up. I think you could hold up that argument. But I did want to, so if you aren't in North Carolina, I think this will relate to your state a lot. They may add, they may take away a little bit, but this at least gets you prepared, start getting it together into a file, especially if you're going to be going for the PUA or the unemployment. Number 10, is my state required to participate in the PUA? This is a good one. What do you think the answer is? Go ahead and put it below, yes or no. Is your state required to run the PUA? The answer is no. No, they are not required to do it. It says underneath the CARES Act, states may participate in the PUA. They may participate in it and will be fully reimbursed for compensation paid out plus administrative costs if they do so, subject to the Department of Labor authority. Individual states will need to sign an agreement with the U.S. Department of Labor for full reimbursement costs for implementation of the program. So your state is not required to use this PUA. Even with the CARES Act, it's saying go through the state this is why they're saying go through the state, by the way, to make sure that you could get this unemployment. Fingers crossed, if you're a business owner and you're very much affected by what's going on, that you can get at least some benefit through the unemployment services within your state. They've approved it, So again, tell me if your state is not approved in the comments below. That would be interesting to see if they've not approved the self-employed people, the 1099 people, the gig workers. We were worried about that in North Carolina. If you go back to some of my other videos, because I work with a lot of business owners, a lot of downtown business owners. We just sold a home to one of the downtown business owners. So we want to make sure that our people are protected, our community is protected, and a lot of people are so affected by this, a lot of the small business owners. So let me know. I would like to know if your state is participating or not. So that's it. Just want to fill you guys in with the unemployment, the 10 questions that came in that I had to find the answer to, that I got super intrigued with the answers and wanted to shoot them over to you. As you see, if we were just to summarize the whole thing, fingers crossed that your state is even participating in helping out 1099 and self-employed gig workers, right? That's number one. And number two, to get more specific, go to the state unemployment service that you guys have, whatever it's called, right? I did the North Carolina link below, but go in there, it's going to have a little bit more details. A lot of the questions here that I posed to you and answered it might be broad, but at least it's going to bring a little bit more clarity to what you may need to get together in order to get the unemployment service. So I hope this was a lot of value to you guys. As you know, a lot of this is old people underwear. So we are waiting for more information to come from the U.S. Department of Labor and more instructional stuff so that we can I could deliver more value to you guys and that I could be more educated when I'm talking to some of these business owners and a lot of our agents. We're getting up to 50 agents, at least within our partnership. So I want them to be informed as well. I want you guys to be informed as well. As more stuff comes out, please subscribe so you can be the first one to really get it. And just heads up, I am not a professional that is sitting in the offices of your state about DOL, but as information comes down, I just thought it would be super important to throw at you guys. So let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe. Until next time, adios.